Thanks a lot, Amnan. Uh, can you all hear me? Okay. And thanks a lot, Madhubani and Shashwat, for that, eye-opening poem, I'll say. Because I think when you have an elder sister, life is much easier because you have someone to carry your school bag, to, someone to handle all your tantrums. But when you are an elder brother and having a younger sister, the dynamics are very different. And somehow I think, we never find how to manage it. Girls always do. That's why it's always better to have an elder sister. But it's a great learning curve, and I think we all need to learn from it. So thanks a lot for that. Yeah. And since we are talking about the draft page and the platform it gives to us and the love and the companion, I'll say, because when I come here I see very lot familiar faces. One of them will be going, and Aman is there next to her, like great storyteller. Amlan is there, and a lot of such people, and such a great community that we have here. So the poem that I have written is called as the draft page, my draft page. Yeah, it's not about the draft page which Pranav has created, but it's about the draft page which every writer has in his or her life when they start writing, but they could never complete it. It's like your favorite incomplete wish, your draft page. So moving on, I'll start. It goes like draft, the first and the last. I look at you, the white solid page with myriad gradients, shades as you reflect the light, and the Tyndall effect as I brush dust over you. So you have seen, when you brush dust over something in the light, it reflects all the particle of it. So what are these dusts? Dust of words, proses and verses that could never come out, dust of our secrets and my monologues. I told you about my first kiss. I told you about the tepid rains. I told you about holding hands. I told you how easily we connected and how, from promising to be each other's, how easily we would fight again and again. How even a trivial discomfort felt like a wild addiction. How from being home somewhere down the line, we both became bishops. So in chess, it's very interesting that all the pieces can touch each other except the bishops of opposite colors. They can come very close to each other, come next to each other, but can never touch either. So how from being homes somewhere down the lines, we became bishops of opposite colors. You covered the light and I had to inherit the dark. From being the one to someone I used to know, my draft page, I wrote and wrote. And what happened to these draft pages? I burned some to let some tussle with the wind only to find their new purpose. Some sealed my alleyways as the showers and tears converged into single existence. Some shattered like every single glass that reflected my image. Some preferred to remain blank. Some traveled across the mountains. Some traveled through the shores and sea with me, through meadows, and some through the barren desert of my rainforest. I wonder, when everyone left, why only my draft page you stayed? So that's the relationship between the writer and the draft page, right? Like when we start writing, we think we have an idea, and sometimes it's very therapeutic to just see the piece of paper in front of you and not write at all. So why? So it's a question that I am asking my draft page. Why do we seek a love where we aren't loved back? Why we hide, lie, and cheat, knowing it's an endless loop? Why do we meet, me and my draft page, when the clock strikes 2:22 in the morning? We, me and you. Me, the one with all the personalities ceasing to exist, and you, my draft page. Why our existence is codependent? We are codependent, right? The draft page is nothing without me, and I'm nothing without my draft page. So why our existence is codependent? You live only when I think to write, and I live only when I lift the pen to write. You aren't draft anymore. Once that final full stop arrives, it just ends, all that you could be, and I forgot to be who I am, who I was, once the pen refuses to accept me as worthy. Now, it's a, last part, like, when you're leaving your draft page, you wrote something, you find it incomplete again and again, and you're thinking, okay, let's move on, let's find something else. Aren't you weird? I'm saying to my draft page, aren't you weird? I can't even share a drink with you. I can't light a cigarette and say it's okay, we'll share. You have nothing that I can borrow, and why giving you all of mine, it's me who has always gained. it's a one-way street, my draft page. And in the upcoming chapter, I am going to burn all the bridges. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being such a lovely audience.